Hello everyone, welcome back to the ride out. Today it's going to have a look at my ER6. I've got a few problems with the cylinder. I'm really hoping it's not the compression, but obviously you're going to mean if it's going to be the electrics. It's not too bad, you can sort of find it out. If it is the compression in the chamber, it possibly means that I've either blown some sort of piston, rods, or the piston rings themselves. But until I strip the bike down and actually have a look, I won't know. So here's me outside cracking on with that. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so the next part is to remove the tank. Okay, so the bits that I need to remove are, as you can sort of see, these little Allen key pieces there, and they are a 3mm, and also these little bolts on there, and they are a 10mm. So I'm going to take that off now, and then I'll show you the fuel pipe and the electrical connection for the fuel pumps. So I'll do that next. And that comes out, just give it a little tug. There you go, you can see the little poppers. They'll come out, just pull it away from the tank. Out from there, done. What I like to do is put the bolt back in where it come from, so at least then I don't lose it for later on. Same on the other side. Back in, take a little bit. Now I'm going to move over to the 10mm. So we're going to remove that bracket now. In a moment, once the tank is off, I will replace that so I don't lose it as well. So now I'm going to lift the tank up. As you can see, there's some connectors underneath. We've got the wiring harness connection there. So there's a little plug, lift it up, pull it apart. There we go, it comes out. Now we're going to go and do the little red tab underneath to do the fuel bit. If it doesn't come out first time, just give it a little wiggle. There it goes. If it doesn't come out, use a little bit of tool. Little flathead screwdriver in behind the little red panel up there. Push it in, give it a little tip, and see it pop out. There we go. See it's pushed forward. At this point then, give it a nice little tug. A little bit of fuel comes out, put it over the side. Now I can lift the tank off. That's it. I like to place the tank down on its cover, the fuel pump elevated away from stuff so it doesn't get knocked or damaged. So as I said before, put this little plate back and there, screw it in a little bit so it gives me the so I don't lose the extra bolts. Alright. So the next piece is removal of airbox. So I need this connector here, this connector here, and this obviously airline. So what I do with this one is actually just pull it off to start with, and it actually comes up. It's quite nice. You can grab that little tab under there and push down on it. It's a little clip. You can just pull it. It should come straight out. Hopefully, there you go. Look, see it comes off, and you should wiggle that piece out. So it goes in. There's the other bit there. Now for that one, literally again, push down on that one. See it moves up. Look, and then just give it a little wiggle. Oh, comes off. Now I'm going to get the airbox open. So I'll undo these 4 screws and then get the Allen keys on the inside. Just a normal Phillips screwdriver. Okay, now they're all done, I'm going to lift up the cover, come straight off. Look in there. Ooh, a bit of fuel. Ugh. Actually, I quite like the smart, to be fair. Yeah, it's not too bad. A little bit of dust and dirt in there, but it's not too bad. I'll give you a look inside the box now and show you what we're going to do next. So there you go, there's the inside of the airbox. It's not too bad, there's a little bit of dirt and stuff inside there. I'm going to use a 5mm Allen key to undo those 5 bolts. So, literally on there, get a nice little turn. Always start them off first, to make sure it comes out. Ooh, it's a bit tight, so if it doesn't come off, I'm going to get my ratchet out. Okay, loosened off, so now I'm going to finish it off with those. Just be careful of, I use my finger inside, hold the screw, or sorry, the bolt, so you don't drop it down inside the air intake. That would be pretty nasty, unless you've got a magnetic rod. You should be able to pick it out, because obviously the valves are open, the secondary valves are open, but the main ones are still closed, so anything drops in there, as long as you don't open the throttle, you should get it out. What you don't want to do is dropping stuff inside the cylinder. You might be able to get it out using the electric magnetic rod. You should be able to get it out, but obviously if you can't, you only got to take the engine apart, take the head off the beast. Can be a little bit fiddly. Final one. Okay. So it's the final one out. And now I'm going to remove the airbox itself. Remove the airbox is easy as grab hold of this part here, do a little pull. There we go. The cables. That's the airbox out. Okay, I forgot to mention what I should have done. It should have been wearing your gloves, because obviously working with any fuels or lubes can contaminate your skin. You can get a thing called contact dermatitis. It's not particularly nice if you get it. A lot of mechanics have it, because obviously working with wars and stuff at the time. So what I like to do is I put my gloves on, but also I put 2 pairs. So then if it all gets all over this glove, I can then whip it off. I have got a clean pair underneath, so I don't get my hands dirty, and then just put 2 more pairs on afterwards. Now I'm going to have a look at the into the top of the engine area to find out the coils and the spark plugs. So firstly, I'm going to have a look at the spark plug on the right hand side. As we look at it, it's the number 2 cylinder, so I'll give you a look at that now. So there we go, there you can see down there is my core pack, says cylinder 1 and then cylinder 2. So remove that then and push down that little tab there, you can sort of see it. Press down, pull back, boom, it comes straight off, look, there it is, there's the cylinder itself. Now what I'm also going to do as well is check the voltage coming through on that. I don't need the fuel pump or anything like that turned on, or fuel tank connected. What I'm going to do is remove that little yellow cap there, put my voltmeter on it, I'm going to check it to the ohm setting and see if I get the ohms coming through. I should have something around about 3 ohms. As long as it's the same sort of power on both sides, it should be all right. I'm going to double check the power, but also I'm going to check the spark plug as well. So I'll do the power first, and then I'm going to check the spark plug afterwards, okay? Okay, to remove that little yellow thing, put a screwdriver in behind the back of it, it's like a little lip, pull it forward, ever so gently, you can see it starts to come forward. At that point then, make sure you put your tool down, grab hold of that, comes out. Just makes it easier, so you can get to the connectors a lot easier. What I like to do is poke it up in behind this little bit of cabling here, and I can go down onto the terminals themselves and have a double check. So, come back to you in a minute. Okay, I'm now going to check the terminals. I'm just going to place them on top. Makes it a little bit easier for me to get to. And I can hold it in place quite easily. Got no power coming through. The engine is turned on. So the ignition is turned on. We'll try turning it over now. Okay, any voltage at all. 1 ohm coming through. Turn it around to 200, so we'll check. Oops. Check again. .7. Yep, got plenty of power coming through that. So, we'll check at the spark plug next. Obviously remembering then, before you put everything back together, make sure you put the little plastic bit back in again. And see, it's relatively simple. It just goes back in that little hole just up there. Push it in, guides in. Don't drop it down there, because that's a bad idea. Makes things a little bit more difficult when you've got gloves on, but what I do is make sure you get it in. Slides in the top. There we go. Give it a little press down. Back in. Right. Get the coil out next. So to remove the coil. There it is. Okay, give it a little squidge. Turn, pull up. There we go. It's going to come out. There we go. Coil's out. Looks clean. Terminals look fine. You're going to get in there and get that spark plug out. I know you can't really see much in there. And there you go. There's the spark plug all the way down the bottom. Okay, to get the spark plugs out, it is, for this motorcycle, is a 10mm spark plug socket. I use a little ball joint and I make it easier, a little extender. I haven't got the original toolkit for this bike, so make sure it's seated in nice and correctly. There's a little bit of time to get these out. For some reason it takes a long time. I think coming out. Oh, I need my magnet rod. Alright, so because there we go, it's done. Because this is a slightly older socket set, I guarantee the socket yes, it's not. So inside here is a piece of rubber. It's meant to grip the end of your spark plugs. I've worn it out, so let's go and get my magnetic rod. So back in a second. Right, okay, remove the spark plugs. My feet it's all the way down inside there. I seem to have lost my telescopic one, but I do have still an earth magnet on an Allen key. So all I'm going to do is place it down inside. Cool. He says, there you go, heard a little click. Draw it up. There you go. Out comes the spark plug. Right, let's have a look. It's a little bit wet and dirty and mucky, so obviously where it's not firing properly. I'm going to double check that in a minute, check the spark. What I'm going to do next, I need to check the spark to make sure I've got any sparkers. Obviously, I'm going to put that back into there, so clips in. So, yeah, it's pretty secure. Reconnect up the actual coil to the engine. On something metallic or metal, as they say. Now, what we're going to check for now, when we try and start, we're checking to see if it sparks, okay? So let's turn the engine on. Now we're looking for spark, okay? Looking for spark. Here we are, ready? Here we go. Yep, seem to have spark. A bit weird, not very clear. So, we'll do next. I do have a brand new spark plug, so I'm going to change that over and give that a go. So stick you in there so you can change it over. So, come on out. Put it there somewhere. There we go. Off. And there, back on there again then. Go back over to the spark plug. Yeah, that's a lot better on that one. Let's see how we get on. Right, because we've got spark, we'll check the other side as well. And then what we'll look at is a compression test to see what's going on, because I've got plenty of spark there, but even on both of the actual spark plugs, it should be firing. So it could be electrical, so it's not sending the right frequency down, or it can be a compression. Now, if I've lost compression in that cylinder, it means I have to strip the engine out. I'll take the engine out and then strip it down to see what's the problem with inside it. It could have blown some piston rings, it could be the pistons are damaged, it could be anything. The only way of doing it is getting it apart and having a look. Okay, right, so I'm going to take the other one out and then we'll have another look. So I've just done the other side as well, so I'm going to show you both sides. Just done it as well, exactly the same voltage, exactly the same spark looking coming out, so it's not that either. So I'm going to double check the compression now. I've got the device here, so this is the compression device. You can sort of see a little meter on there. You look for the PSIs on that sort of. This bit's going to screw into where the spark plug came from. First of all, I'll disconnect the main hose from the main bit. That's the bit we're going to use in a moment. I'm going to screw this in by hand, okay, not tight at all, just enough to get it in and on. So I've got both open-ended. I'm just going to put something in there out of the way to stop the any dirt and debris flying in and out as I do it. Put a little rag in there. Once I find the rag, I'll put it in there. First of all, I'm going to set this down into the actual cylinder itself. Once it's in the bottom, I'm going to give it a little twist. Make sure it twists in, hopefully. Come back in a second. Okay, that's screwed into position now. Not very tight, just put it into finger tight. Adapt the valve on it. It's all secure. Right, so now I'm going to turn the bike on and then run it a few times to get the compression going. What I'm going to do for this one actually is disconnect the I don't know for anyway, so again. It is a bit low. It's a little bit low. I think it's meant to be about a 130, 139. So, check. No, it's fine. Give it a little bit clean. Now go for the other side. So we'll put it in and I'll come back to you. Right, check this side next. See how it goes. Nothing. As tight as I can go. Nothing at all. Not good. Let's take this out and double check something. Bit dirty, but it did screw all the way in by the looks of it. Double check it. Right, then, I'm going to give it a clean off. Double check the threads to see how far the dirt goes down, so just make sure it's nice and clean. Have another go at it and see what happens. Didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. It's screwing in now. Weird. Have a couple of turns. See if we can reseat it. No, still not liking it. Something's not right. Doesn't like to screw in. Very strange. It's getting the first piece of the thread, but the rest of it's not going in. That could be me being at a funny angle. Yep. So give it a wiggle. There we go. Gone in this time. It's now screwing all the way down it. All the way in. There we go. Nice and tight. Hand tight anyway. Push it in. Keep it close. Turn the key on. Nothing, not a thing. That means I've got no compression. Oh dear. Right, I can tell it's gone all the way down. Like you can see the threads have gone all black all the way to the end, and the rubber's got some dirt on it. So it means it did screw all the way down. Damn it. Well, as you can see there, got no compression in the number 2 cylinder. So that means I'm going to have to take the engine out. Get the engine out and basically pull it apart and see what's wrong with it. I do have an endoscope somewhere. I'm going to charge it up and then look down inside the cylinder and see if I can see any damage. It's not really making much difference. I've got to take the engine out regardless. If it's hopefully I can see something with the endoscope, I know what's wrong with it. At the end of the day, engine comes out. It could either be the pistons, rods, it could be anything. Unfortunately, it's going to be not exactly an expensive thing, but it's going to cost a little bit of money. If it is completely all knackered, it's like maybe well over £1,000. So that means basically a whole new engine. If that's not viable to do that, it might be the fact that this bike gets then sold as broken. Try and reclaim some money back and use the money towards other things. I've got my other bike here I can use in the meantime. So I'm going to put everything back in where it was, and then look at getting the engine out in the near future. So right, let's crack on with that.